Hi, everybody. This is Margaret. Welcome to the channel. I'm going to pop up my favorite pre show chat. Staring has its uses. I always come up with fantastical imaginings from our own SD Houston. I love it. So, hello, Shannon. She says, ready to be productive. Already started by making friends with the like button. I love it because I always forget. Thank you. Anita is here, ready to stare at my story while trying to figure out what to write. Excellent, excellent. And Devin just came in. Hi, Devin. So we've got a little gang going. And what are you going to work on for today's sprint? I have lots of materials around. I have my planner with blank pages. I have stickers. I've got notepad. I've got all the video topics ready to go. I think I'm pretty caught up in terms of planning and topics. So I think I'm actually going to be doing reading and writing during these sprints. Who would have thunk it, right? Jim is here. Hello, Jim. Happy Christmas in Georgia. And Barrett's here. Hey, Barrett. I can put upcoming attractions. Barrett just reminded me. So he is waiting because he's doing the smart marketing thing and waiting for a few days before to put up the actual event or make it public. But I, hapless wanderer that I am, put up my sprints for the Winter Writer Retreat. So I'm going to pop that into the chat. The first one is going to be Saturday next weekend. So I'm very excited. I was also having thoughts about the fact that this is a retreat and maybe we just want to have like a I don't know. Mine's going to be a silly, goofy sort of games of a wellness sprint, but I want some of the wellness sprints to just be like, okay, breathe. Okay, listen to the nature around you. Okay, breathe. For like a real retreat feeling, you know? So we'll see if that is on any of the sprints. I'm very excited to pop around everyone's channel and see what's going on. The Saturday is the writing sprint for me, and Sunday is the wellness sprint, which is the silly goofy games, which is also just going into the chat. And yeah, please do silly and goofy. Well, I've got my marching orders, so happy to oblige. And because some people may not know where to find it, I'm putting Barrett's channel information here because that is where the first one will be. And I may be a little late to this one because it's at 5 a.m. my time, but the opening party is going to be 2 hours long, and it's going to be nice, fun, cheerful, friendly, all those good things. 8 a.m. on a Saturday morning. So if you're a writer and you want community, that is obviously the place to be on Barrett's channel. And since I've been thinking about this for weeks and I still haven't told Barrett, don't have a heart attack. This is a good surprise. Whenever I see Barrett's last name, Laurie, I think of the song Annie Laurie, and I don't know if anyone's ever heard of this, but I'm putting a link to it in the chat. So one of my favorite Scottish groups, Scottish folk music groups, is called the Corries. They no longer exist, but they have a song called Annie Laurie, and they're just beautiful. So if you like folk music, or even if you don't, and just like Scottish stuff, follow that link, and you may be distantly related to Barrett Laurie. Who knows? All right. Yes, I forgot to mention that Shannon's birthday is going to be on my sprint. That is super fun. Anita weighing in to say the nature around me is currently burying me in snow. Well, okay, but I'm sure there's birds or squirrels. Well, I'm not sure. Who knows? But just noticing stuff around you. Thankfully, only a dusting here in Missouri area. Good. Stay safe. Shannon says everything sounds quieter with snow. I miss that now living in Florida. Yeah. Evan says 8 a.m. is a thing. Yes. Yes. Anita's getting up to 45 centimeters over a foot. Oof. Oh, Shannon's birthday is the 16th. Okay, so it's the day before her birthday. So silly fun games for the day of your birthday. We'll see if you're able to hang out then. And that is a lot of snow. A crump ton, as I just made up. But yes, So, welcome, welcome. I'm going to be doing reading, writing, reading. That's going to be my three, and maybe we do another writing if we have time for a fourth sprint. Um, Thank you for uh, helping me test a few features yesterday. That was helpful. I'm very excited about the new StreamYard features. So, yes, I'm a ambassador that is not getting paid. Surprise! So, let me pop into my banner and get a correct minute read on the timer here, and let's go for 20 minutes. Feel free to write in with what you are sprinting doing. Oh, and the other thing that I changed about the winter wellness stuff was it's not a sprint if it's a retreat. So I'm calling mine a walk. It's much calmer, much more like Zen vibes. So I put that in my banner. I put that in my thumbnail, I should say. So hope that's okay. Um, Jim says, snow so deep you could hide a body. Oh, I've just finished the Horror Tube anthology Served Cold. Excellent. That is a good, what is that? Metaphor? Nope. No, it's just literal, so never mind. Yes, that's a good one. Horror Tube anthology. I can't remember. I definitely have watched videos of someone who is in that, but I can't remember. Is it Jeremy? Jeremy in that? I don't know. But let's start at 10 minutes after the hour. And I'm going to be reading. Hello, Mr. Blandis. I'm going to be reading. Good question. These two this time. So Ecotopia because I'm close to the end and it's a slim volume and I want to get more book body count, speaking of bodies. And Segu during the second one because this is not a thin volume and it's a buddy read with Bria that I need to get back into. So those are my two goals. Reading. Flitting Between Unzipped, the autobiography of Susie Quattro and Dust Bowl Orphans. Okay, so you got two books going too, Jim. Awesome. Don't forget the like button. Like and subscribe. Sounds good. Aphrodite Lee has a story in that anthology, and we'll be interviewing her here soon for the self-pub tips and tricks. Really? Sounds good. I've had a few frozen bodies in my stories. There's one in the audiobook I'm listening to right now, actually. I'm listening to The Night Country by Melissa Albert. And if any of you have done dark fae kind of fairy tale laced fantasy, Melissa Albert is a very interesting read. But anyway, one of the powers of the main character is to freeze people with ice from the inside out. So yeah, frozen bodies. Oh, lots of people. DL Tillery, Kate C. Kate Kavanaugh has a horror short in there? I missed that. Jeremy Fee has read it. Steve Donahue, Dane Cobain, and others are in it. Steve Donahue wrote a horror short story? See, I do keep track of a lot of things, but horror is one of those things that I just let myself go, nope, not for me, not going to pay attention. So I guess that's why it's all slipped off of my brain. Off my brain pan. Oh, fun. Okay. Shannon says she's working on Mr. Vlandis's piece for the stream. Cool. I love the connections we make behind the scenes. Connections with author too. Sweet. So let's put this up here. We're going to sprint for 20 minutes and you can do what you like. Put it in the comments if you like and play any music you want. But I'm not playing any music because copyright. Nice. All right. So we'll start sprinting. I will mute myself and come back in 20 minutes. 10:30. All right. Pause. How do we do? Did we read? Did we write? Did we stare? I read from Ecotopia, and I forgot to mention the reason why this is an hour or two earlier than the normal sprints. So normally I'm at 12 to 2, and now I'm at 10 to 12 because I am a patron of Lucy Bellwood, who is a comic book artist and writer. And she's having a Zoom for some of her patrons to like hang out. So this day is going to be all of hangouts and chats and staring, basically. So I wanted to make a room to do that at 12:30, have lunch in between, and do this before. So I have already been up, got on a walk, taken a shower. Like this is a little old me coming back and being on the ball, just feeling a little weird. Shannon says, a third of the way through. Valanda says, work. Awesome. Anita says, got my flash fiction finished. Mostly still needs a bit of editing. Super. Very cool. Mr. Roro Suri. Hello, hello. We're just finishing up our first sprint. So if you've got something, in my tweets I said knitting, laundry, anything basically. You can read, you can write, you can fold laundry, you can, I don't know, whatever it is that's on your to-do list that you've been putting off. That's the goal here, is to sit with friends and get through it together. Barrett says, quarter way through an outline, I'm lurking but working. Yes, and that's the whole point, right? It's just to check in with each other, accountability buddies, that kind of thing. Books and jams. Krista, hello, popped in to read a bit with you. I'm reading a retelling of the story of Ruth in the Bible. Is it the red tent or is it a different one? That's so cool. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming by. Shannon's our welcoming committee saying hello, hello. Very cool. So, yeah, we've got snow. I've got rain here. I actually went on that walk I just mentioned, and it was raining. It was like misting for the last 5 minutes of my half hour walk. And thankfully I had a knit hat over my headphones so the electronics didn't like freak out. So yeah, getting all of it done at the same time. Ooh, it's different. It's called Shadow Among Sheaves. It's one of the oldest on my NetGalley shelves. I'm determined to make progress on those books this year. Sweet. Cool. I like sheaves. And my phone is ringing. Yay. Very cool. Does anyone else have a good drink? So I know Dan Hook was here earlier saying that it's a big mug. This is a different big mug, not quite as big, but it does match my shirt. So there's that today. And it is hot chocolate. So if you've got a favorite beverage, what's another word? What's it called when you have something for the gods? Libation. If you have another libation near you today, let us know what you're drinking, what's fueling your productivity today. I'm going to set myself up for writing. So that means for my next sprint, finding the piece in my planner that has my ideas for experimentation, side project plots. That's what I called this. And like, it was like midnight last month, and I was sort of frantic, and I had all these ideas, and I thought, let's do these and do some experimentation writing to get me excited about it again. So that is, I think, what I'm going to dive into, and handwrite. I know some of you people think that's crazy, and it kind of is, but since this isn't for fun and profit, as Lawrence Block says, it's just for fun, I'm okay doing it handwriting. So are we going to continue in the same vein? What are you drinking, and what are you going to do for the next sprint? And it's Friday, so what are you going to do this weekend? I know Shannon's going to do a whole bunch of work this weekend. I know Barrett is as well. Gosh, you guys are like what's the Superman line? A speeding train? You guys are speeding trains. So So make sure to stop for water and coal and, whatever that metaphor leads you to. Okay. I'm kind of in a mood to just like do this stuff today. And so let me know what you guys are thinking. Maybe I'll start at 10:40 for the next sprint. Krista says, I just have water to drink. I may gather info or books for my end of the year videos I still need to film this weekend. Oh, end of the year. There you go. That's cool. That's cool. I just did the prep yesterday or the day before. I did the prep for my next dramatic reading, which is the December books that I really liked, reading some passages out of them. And I'm super stoked. I was reading some last night to my family from Orchard, and like it was really cool. So I might have to go back to Doris and Heidi and figure out. They just pick naturalist books that I don't have, or I don't know, don't jump out at me for some reason. I'm in like a different track of nature reads for some reason. So yeah. Shannon is working, but going for a hike Sunday morning. Yay! That sounds nice. Florida hike. Where do you hike in Florida? You're in northern Florida, so isn't that pretty flat? I guess you can go on a hike in flatlands too. That's even more enjoyable because you don't have to hike up. Always a pleasure. Anita says, no drink, working on my flash and a story. So all concentration. Well done, Anita. Shannon says water to drink as well, but I'm wanting some hot chocolate. I know. I'm so mad. So UWF. Is that, I'm going to guess, a state park? I don't know any Florida state parks except the Everglades. That's national. So is that you? No. Is that you saying you would think with a Cockney accent? Because that's my other interpretation. That's bad. I don't think I'd be comfortable with high hikes since falling down a mountain in 2011. Oh my gosh. That would put you off of it, wouldn't it? Oh, okay. University of West Florida. Oh, cool. They have a ton of hiking and bike trails. Oh, that's really nice. Very nice. Yikes, falling down a mountain. You've done a lot in your life, Shannon. I think we need to write down all these tales. There's a lot. All right, let me get to that banner. Change it up. 42 0. And in case you're wondering why I'm not doing anything on the computer, it's because if I worked on the computer while we were sprinting, I'd have to put it in my lap, and then you'd get that that view of me. So we're doing around the computer stuff, which is fine. Which one am I doing? Someone want to give me a starting line? I mean, I can go with one of the plots that I have left. Or someone can give me a writing prompt. That'd be fun. You've got 1 minute to give me a one-line prompt, anybody. Oh boy. Okay, well, the side plot is a little convoluted because did I mention I wrote these at midnight some time ago? So maybe I'll just start a new thought. We can go with that. I guess I can put in another upcoming attraction. Today is the 7th, Friday the 7th. Tuesday, I'm doing another triple tag, and I've already got my notes ready for this, so that's very exciting. Friday, I've got an author panel lined up. So I do booktube stuff and authortube stuff. So this is like the one I usually try to do two authortube focused videos per month, and this is going to be one of like at least three or four authortube videos in January. So we're starting out with a big bang there. And this is the one I still need to do, which is the dramatic reading thumbnail and everything. So that is more upcoming excitement. What is this? P.W. Litchfield, founder of Goodyear Tire and Rubber, wrote, "One realizes the full importance of time only when there is little of it left." Okay. Describe an experience in your life that proved this statement to be true. Oh my gosh. Jim says he read a chapter of Unzipped, now reading Dust Bowl Orphans. Faith and Hope have been separated from their family because of a dust blizzard. Oh, awesome. Oh, yeah. Well, I can totally still read it, so it's good. Yeah, let's go with that. I like that quote. How do I copy and paste it? I can't. It doesn't matter because I'm writing it by hand, so we're good. All right, I'm gonna go off and do an experimental story. I'm a minute late already, so I will mute myself and see you in 20 minutes. Happy working. How we doing? So I've got 11 o'clock, top of the hour. We've got 2 sprints under our belt. Welcome, Pei. Thanks for coming in. Feel free to tell us what you're working on. I had one reading sprint and one writing sprint and got a page of what's building into a vampire story. So that's where my mind is. What can I do? I felt the need to complain about this because I had my window open and I could hear someone blowing the leaf blower while it was raining. And I really liked the sound of the rain. And then the leaf blower just reminds me that someone is out there trying to like blow wet leaves and only like a few feet. So it's like off his lawn. And I'm just like, people, people. I watched Don't Look Up the other night. So I know I mentioned that on the stream earlier this week, I think, and realized that it's on Netflix. So I could go see it. Thank you for telling me, everybody. And it was good. It was really funny. And also that feeling at the end of, yeah, hug your people close. It's a little hard. Shannon's finished my second reading, left comments on Mr. Blandis's work, now writing a short note. Yay. Anita finished my flash, working on the short story. Poor Lars is about to find out what he signed up for. Sounds like a good hook. Oh, let me take the banner off. Sounds good. Sounds good. So, second sprint underway. Did I ask what you guys are reading? I heard what some people are reading. I know we've got a big crop of goals videos to go through. So I'm just going to take a poll for the room. Who loves them and eats them up, and who is tired of seeing goals videos? I feel like I'm still up for goals videos for the people who I like listening to. I don't know about you, but where I am on the booktube journey is I subscribe to a whole bunch of people, and then I probably watch later and like schedule to watch later, like 2/3 of them in my feed, because 450 or whatever. I haven't cleaned it a couple weeks ago, but like 450 is still a lot of people to watch. So Pei says, just editing, rewriting a little novella, hoping to do something with this spring, but it does feel like blowing wet leaves 2 feet away. Oh no! I didn't mean that metaphor to apply to the writing going on in the room, but we'll make it. Claude, hello. Thanks for dropping in. Shannon says, this is my first year watching goals videos and making one. I find them interesting. Yep. Jim says, Dust Bowl Orphans are almost in Texas in my reading. All right. Claude says, goal videos are fun. Okay, so do our attention spans last long enough to follow up with those goals, or is it just fun to hear people being ambitious? Is that the fun part? I like hearing about people's reasonings and their like tweaks from the last time that they had goals and worked on them, and hearing their process of going, well, this didn't work, but I think if I tweak it this way, that will be better for me. That's what I like, is hearing the growth and adaptation. Sorry, I'm flinging pens around in goals video. So that's what works for me. Yeah. Jim says, I put 72 books as my reading goal for the year on Goodreads. Last time I set 72 as the goal was the time I failed. Ooh, okay. So we have the book reading goals, 72. So that doesn't divide by 12, but it's 5.5 books per month, right? Because 6 times 12 is, no, it is 72. Sorry. Watch an author tuber do math. Claude says, I find them motivating personally, and sometimes they give ideas too. Yep. Shannon says, I like to see those that talk about their growth and refocus energy. Totally. Yeah. And I think, Shannon, you said the other day that you're working on doing Chandra's 300 things. Was that you? So I I haven't watched Chandra's 300 Things. I think I saw her first one a long time ago, and my brain just forgot it. And so when she came up to updating in the last couple videos she's talked about it, I was like, "Nope, can't compute, can't compute." That's just too many. That gets into the territory of, like, a task list that is too long and just overwhelming, and that just makes me wanna shut down. So, strangely, that doesn't happen with books and reading. Go figure. 6 books a month, 1 book every 5 days. Thank you for that math, Jim. Appreciate it. Yes, that was me with the 300 things. Cool. Well, if you do a video about that, I'm gonna be interested how you structure it because, yeah, it can't be just a list of to-dos because that would take forever. So maybe I should go back and watch Chandra's, see how she does it. Yes, lots of to-dos. Um, what am I gonna do next? I'm gonna read Sego next. So for our next sprint, I'm gonna be reading again. Da-da-da. So put my planner away, get my reading thing out. Woman in Translation, BIPOC author. Very cool. Jim says, I listened to Atomic Habits last year. The focus is about systems, not goals. I think that's probably how they work into doing 300 is that they have systems where, um, you have sort of a domino effect and you have to do them in order. So instead of saying one big goal and then the strategy of how to get there, it's like mapping out all the things, kind of like how you do with Wishcraft, which is you start with the goal and then work backwards until you get to a thing that you feel comfortable doing next, like today or tomorrow. So, yeah, it is interesting. I think Atomic Habits, is that a Jim somebody? Atomic James? James? I remember hearing about that a while ago. Cool deal. So why don't we start at 10 after the hour for our third sprint. I think we'll probably get 4 in today. 10 to 30. Anybody else tired? Anybody else tired? Yes, that would be me. Oh, I was right. James Clear. Nice. Got it. Amazon's nonfiction bestseller, but you can listen for free on YouTube. Can you? Is it on his channel? Is it allowed? I wouldn't want to do that without his, permission. Hmm. Well, that's good. That's good. What else is going on? I want to make some cookies. That's in the offing. If I can find the right kind of nuts for the nutty chocolate chip cookies from the Memo cookbook. So that's something fun for the day. Lucy Bellwood's stream, her not a public stream, but a Zoom hangout, I will call it, later today. Listening to the rain, that should be nice. Bean's just sleeping, so he's having a perfectly awesome day. We had both dogs this week introduced to Bean, and what we did was we had Bean in my room on the bed here, and we opened the door to the dog standing in the living room with someone with a hand on their collar, just so they could see and sniff and see what they would do, because we don't know how either of those dogs reacts to cats, and we didn't want to make Bean, super uncomfortable. But Bean was like just staring and being really, really still, and the black pupils were getting bigger and bigger. And Callie, the younger dog, was very keyed into it and then barked. And so we were like, no, apparently, no, experiment gone wrong. And then the older dog and larger dog, Knox, he stood there and he seemed, what his owner said was that he wanted to play, but playing with the cat might stress out the cat a lot. So he didn't bark, but he did, want to go forward. And I don't think Bean was ready for that. So we introduced them, and maybe someday dog and cat will talk and live in harmony. But that was the progress made this week, which is kind of interesting to observe because Bean doesn't meet dogs usually, so tried something new. Let's go for. Ooh, it's 10 already. Okay, so 10 minutes after the hour, I'm going to be reading. Feel free to drop your new task in the sprints or switch it up or take a break and do a dance party, although 20 minutes is kind of long for dancing, or do some stretches, with the theme of the writer wellness retreat thing that we're doing next weekend. Make sure that, stretch your back, stretch your neck, take a breath, do what you need to keep going in good health, and I will see you in 20 minutes. Hey, everybody. So it's 11:30. I can take off our banner. Round of applause. What'd everybody do? Let me know. Did you walk in the rain? Did you dance a jig? Did you stretch at least to make sure your body doesn't cramp up from being so productive? Ugh. Let me know. Shannon said she finished her task and her husband was coming home for lunch, which is rare. So she's jumping off to spend some time with him. Awesome, awesome. And she's going to leave this up for watch time, which I appreciate. All right, so I did 17 pages read in my book. How about you guys? 17 pages in 20 minutes. That sounds slow. Usually I'm faster, but that's a big book. So I think a page is longer than a page. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. How'd you guys do? Anita got a review written and posted to 3 sites. Amazing. We love people who write reviews. Well done. Karma will pay you back, I hope. Claude read about Waterdeep in City in D&D to prep for my game. Oh, okay. Getting some background. I assume that means you're a master in the game because you're making the decisions or something. That's what I gather from not being in the culture. And Jim says, I'm a quarter way into Dust Bowl Orphans. They've arrived at a migrant camp in California. Very good. Have you read Grapes of Wrath? I'm just curious if you're going to be able to compare it. Paya says, I got nothing done on that one. Started reading a terrible book and just ranted to myself for the last 20 minutes. I regret everything. Oh, well, maybe you got it out of your system. I don't know. Sometimes it feels like there's a little poison in the day in yourself, and you need to exercise it. And I don't know, it can either come out in being nasty to someone, which is not great, or furious physical energy, which is a better way, or writing. Sometimes writing it out can help exercise those poisonous demons, or at least that's what I find. Jim said he did read Grapes of Wrath and Cannery Row. I don't remember Cannery Row being so much about the Dust Bowl, but Grapes of Wrath, yeah. That'll be interesting to hear your comparison, because I think you're reading the Dust Bowl Orphans as a BIPOC author / different population's experience of the Dust Bowl, which should be interesting to compare. Claude says, yes, I'm the dungeon master of this game. Very cool. What did I was on a stream recently. They're all blending together where I was recommending. Oh, no, it wasn't a stream. It was me sitting in Barnes & Noble with Katie Reads and Rants. So we met up yesterday, 2 days ago. And we did a little reading sprint, a sort of silent reading party in Barnes & Noble for our buddy read this month of Once Upon a River by Diane Setterfield. And Katie was talking about, if it wasn't gaming, it was something close. Guild. Maybe it was her husband who's in a guild or something like that. That's probably what it was. And the person who was restocking all the magazines chimed in when I said she should watch The Guild with Felicia Day, which is a web series. The magazine stalker chimed in to say it's really good. So obviously we've been having a conversation, and she was forced to listen to us. So apologize to that Barnes & Noble employee, but it was funny. The Guild. That's basically my interpretation or my impression of the gaming and dungeon master kind of stuff. So yes, exercise the poison. Jim says Suzette Harrison is BIPOC and the orphans are African American. Yeah, that's neat. So if it's in the 1930s, it's also part of the Great Migration. So I don't think I've seen The Warmth of Other Suns on your list, but I read it a few years ago, and that was the first time I really learned about the Great Migration, like the sort of waves of migration out of the South of African Americans starting in the 1910s and 20s, 30s, 40s, especially because of all the industrial jobs from World War II happening in the 40s. And from after Reconstruction to after World War II, there's just like the period of this is not okay. Like, we don't have to live here, and people finding better places to live and recreate a better life. So that was a really good book by Isabel Wilkerson. I'd recommend. But yeah, this would be a more focused time wise. So I'm very curious to hear the up upshot of that read. Claude says, "Oh yeah, The Guild is amazing. YouTube has plenty of those gems." Yeah, I started getting sucked into web series. I don't know what you would call them, but basically people making TV series and miniseries on the YouTube. And the first one was, I think, the Diaries of Lizzie Bennett, and it was a Pride and Prejudice retelling. Pretty funny, really long, and a little long for me. But The Guild was also really entertaining. Um, and I also listened to Felicia Day's um, audiobook memoir, which is something about weird, or I can picture the cover. I can't remember the title at the moment, but yeah, that was good too. Jim says recently there's been migration back to the South as industrial cities like Detroit have run out of opportunities. Well, I don't I don't think I've heard that. What I've heard is that industrial cities like Detroit, so sort of big manufacturing centers, have been so depleted for so long that it's finally like people are coming back in and using the cheapness of land and buildings to make, just like they do in big cities, like creative communities and marginalized communities take that as their opportunity to actually build something up because they have the capital to start. But I don't know that things are happening like that in the South. Um, yeah, I'd be interesting to hear where you heard that in Georgia, the other Georgia. Yeah. So it's 11:37. Do we have one more sprint in us? I think we do. I'm gonna make it a 15-minute sprint. So let's do not that one. 40 to 55, and then we can have like a last little sign off. Make sure everyone feels good for the Friday, the day to come. Yeah. Okay, Jim's giving me the deets here. Between 1975 and 1980, several southern states saw net African American migration gains. In 2014, African American millennials moved in the highest numbers to Texas, Georgia, Florida, and North Carolina. Huh. And was it cities or was it rural? This this intrigues me. I'd love to see like what story you got that from, or what wider trend it's reflecting. That's really cool. Cool deal. Um, what else do we have? I've gone over cookies. I've gone over drinks. I've gone over reading. I've gone over the cat and dog hullabaloo in the house. And I've even gone over leaf blowers. I mean, what else is there to cover? There is still the Winter Writer Retreat happening next Saturday and Sunday on Baird's channel. So definitely check that out. We've got a Instagram post that shows the schedule and who's hosting, so you can like bop around. One of the other things I learned besides gaming was that Twitch has something called raids, which means someone from a robust stream will say, "Okay, we're going to this house now," basically, and like the party continues. So that's basically what this is going to be. Retreat where we go from channel to channel and people can tune in, tune out, and get some writing done, but also just sort of socialize with some of the sprints. So should be fun. Jim says to the cities. I can see that for Atlanta, Georgia, and parts of Texas. Interesting. I just don't know more about this story, so I want the bigger picture. Oop, Devin's got the schedule in the chat. Thank you, Devin. So that's the what's it called? We call it a tour card when it's like publishing book tours and stuff. So it's the tour card for the Winter Writer Retreat. How does that sound for being fancy and professional, right? All right, so it's 11:40. I'll leave that up and we will mute ourselves for the last 15 minutes sprint, which I will decide what to do for on as soon as I mute myself. Okay, see you guys in 15 minutes. And we're back. Well, that was a bit of a bust for me. So I'm right where you are, Pay. I tried to do some planning stuff. I tried to think about a novella outline, and then I had to go to the bathroom, and I was just like, we're not here. We're not here for this one. So that's fine. We got 3 good ones done. How'd you guys do? Just need to take a brain break. That's what these things are telling me, right? Oh my gosh. I was looking at Facebook comments. Thanks, Jim. Well, what a wide variety of comments we've covered today. Shannon's off to lunch. If you guys are having lunch or dinner or dessert, I hope you have a lovely meal. I'm going to be signing off for lunch right now. But be sure to check out the coming attractions, meaning I don't know what's going on next. 111, the triple tag coming up on Tuesday, the writer retreat, Obvi coming up, Obvi. My mouth isn't working very well today. Writer retreat coming next weekend, which all of us will be having fun at. And in between, make sure to take stretch breaks and write some words and be kind. That's about all I've got for y'all. Anita wrote some words in the short story. Pay said, you are still ahead of me as I've only moved backwards since. It's all relative. Claude says, thanks. Thanks for stopping by, Claude. Really appreciate it. Devin is giving us the place to raid. They have a list of playlists. No, they have a playlist of sprints. That's what I meant. Like I said, my mouth is not working. And Jim, if it's not dessert time, it's obviously bedtime for Bonzo. So thanks everyone for stopping by. I hope you got some stuff done, sitting with some friends this Friday. Happy day, happy weekend, and I'll see you again soon. Ta-da! Bye.